Hello, guys. Welcome to the part two of this introduction to technology. Today we're going to be talking about how the web works, and of course, the web is a very interesting place. I really love building on the web as a web developer, even though I can as well build on mobile. But I think I love building on the web because of so many flexibilities it provides. Now, have you ever wondered whenever you make a request on your browser or your mobile phone, you go to a browser and you type in on Google, how old is the world? Funny, right? Something like that. You just put it on Google and then Google quickly provide you with answers or most probably a lot of links for you to check out what other people are saying regarding the questions you asked in their individual domain or in their individual web addresses or websites, whatever you want to call it. Now, the web is is a really really an interesting place. I must tell you because there's a lot of things activities that go on a single request when you make a request to the browser. When you log a request in the browser, there's a lot of activities that goes on that in splits of milliseconds you get your results and your answers without actually knowing that it took some activities. You understand? So the browser here, there are three components you must have to understand whenever you are building on the web, whenever you are talking about how the web works. You must have to talk about the clients. These clients can actually not just be a browser because your phone can be a client. We have things, but we'll get to that later. Though. But let's focus on the browser. At least that one is very beginner friendly. So the browser, the server, and then the server resources. Do you understand? The server on its own is a different thing. Is a computer on its own, and then the resources that it stores. Whenever the browser is sending something, there's a request being made to the server, and then the server get the request and then return it back to the client. So who is the client? The client is the device, the the platform you're using to make a request to the server. That's the browser or the client. Client is usually the person, the device that is making the request to the server. Then the server is the house, the computer that processes this request. And then most of the times it comes in different formats. But I'm going to remain on the web here. Now, when you log a request on the browser, let's say Google search, or yeah, Google search, what happens is that this request goes to the server, Google server, and then look for any trace of that information you searched for on Google server. And then Google on its own, if it has the answer, it will deliver it directly. But most of the times, Google is a search engine, so it provides its answer from different resources gathered here and there. So what it does, it fetches the bots. Google bot then goes through all the entire website within its reach and then see how to get that information from different sources where it saw a trace of it and then give it out to you. That's why you see them listed out. Then you can be able to, assess which one has the correct information you're looking for. Now, the web itself is not the internet. The internet is a network of computers that are connected together all over the world. The web is like a software sitting inside the internet. Now, it has different layers. Do you understand? It's more like your operating system, Windows or Mac, the softwares you have inside your operating system. Let's use Windows for example. You have the Microsoft Word is a software on Windows operating system. You use this software to type in Word documents. So same thing with web. Web is a software sitting in the internet. Do you understand? And then this internet is a group of network, it's a group of computers connected together all over the world. So it's a network. I don't know. I'm not a network engineer, so I might not do good in explaining this. But what I know is that a network, the internet is a group of networks connected together, and then a group of computers, a group of computers connected together through under a network, and then they share resources. So every single computer that is connected to the internet, I think what provides the interconnectivity is the help of satellites. I might be wrong. If you know the right thing, you can actually leave it in the comment section for me. But the satellite also provide the interconnectivity because I think that's where we get access to the internet. Yeah, that's where we get access to the internet. So every computer on this planet that is connected to the internet have access to the satellite network that binds every computer together. Do you understand? So now, inside this web, we have the same way we have computers linked together through a network. That's the same way inside this computer we have a server. Inside the web, sorry, we have different servers that are linked up together under a certain network. Let me give you an example. Let's break it down to let's talk about server now. Servers are computers living on the internet that have different files, programs living on them. And these programs and files on these servers have specific unique addresses that helps one to get access to them. Let's say you come to your web browser and you type, let me show us something. Let's say you come to your web browser here and you type, let me say, fasticoretechnology.com. Now, this fasticore is a web address that is sitting in a server. Do you understand? And funny enough, there might be other network, other websites. I mean to say web addresses on the server where this Fasticore technology is located. There might be other web addresses. So the group of these web addresses are under these servers. And then this server has different resources. Now, this web address is like a file system, a program sitting under the server. And then when you now make a request, because this address is like unique, we can't have two FASTICOR address on the web, the entire internet. We cannot have it. We can't have it. So that is why every domain name, every web address is unique because it is given a unique identification by any server it is coming from. And all the servers on the internet understand each other and they talk to each other in the sense that whenever you try to access something that does not exist, you can't find it because it doesn't exist. There's no mistake around it. And if it exists, it will definitely point you to the right direction. Okay. So now, the server, like I said earlier, I've deviated a bit and I'm sorry about that. The server on its own is a big computer, a very big computer. Let's dive straight in to what we have so that we can have a better understanding of what the server is. So here, a server refers to a computer or a system that is designed to provide resources, services, or functionalities to other computers or devices known as clients within a network. It serves as a central hub that receives requests from clients and responds by providing requested data, services, or resources. Yeah. So this server, what the server does is it provides a central hub where every client that are connected to it can pull every client, any client that can pull resources that are inside this server You understand? So it serves as a central hub. So different clients can make requests to this server and it will provide resources to them. Now let's take a look at this image now. These are different browsers, different individuals making requests to this server here. And someone might be here, send a request. The server might be situated anywhere in the world because it is connected over the internet. So you have access to it because you yourself, your computer is connected to the internet. So that is why you are able to access the server. So when you now make a request to a certain URL, every single URL living on the internet belongs to a server. Do you understand? So when you make requests using your browser as a client, it goes through the internet to search which server has these resources. And whenever it finds it within the network, it goes to the server that has this uh, address and say, someone is looking for your content. The server will say, oh, really? Let's see. It will carry the request, enter into it, and look for whatever it is that is inside that request. And if it's truly that it has that request, it will throw it out and return it back to you. So that is why we have something like this. The first image, we have the URL request, and then we have the response. When there's a request to the server processes the request and then returns back a response. You understand? And you are able to see the response on your browser. So that's fine. Let's go over to the next. The server basically is a is a computer on its own and can do virtually everything any computer can do. Why? Because the server has an operating system running on it. A server can be local or can be cloud based. When you say a local server, your computer can be your local server. You can create a network across multiple computers in a room using one single computer as a central hub for other computers. So what that means is since one computer is the server, they will be feeding other computers making requests under the network will now be feeding information or sending information to that central computer that serves as that is the server. So if my laptop or my computer is the server in my house and there are other people using my network, let's say you have a repo, a file system that is private to my house, and then it's only people who are within my network in my house that can see that file. Then one of my computers can be my server. So anyone who is connected to my router or my network can technically access those files in that central server. So that's just how it works. But on the internet, when they say when a server is said to be in the cloud, what it means is just that it is connected over the internet. So it does not just sit locally. Yes, it's a computer, it's an operating system, but it doesn't sit locally anywhere. It is connected over the internet, over the networks that every other computer is connected in the world, so that millions and billions of people can have access to it. Now the browser client. The client I've mentioned before is the browser. It makes an HTTP request to the server over a network called the internet. Reason being that our server lives on the internet, so it has to undergo some certain protocol to be able to, reach our server. You understand? So when this request is made to the server processes this request and send back a feedback to the client. And the client then displays the response to the user that is operating the computer. This request can be for the server to execute a command or provide a resource. However, the request made to the server is made possible through a protocol called Hypertext Transfer Protocol, or most times Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, HTTP and HTTPS. These HTTP protocol are a set of network rules that determine how a server receives and responds to requests made by the client's browser. So when a request is made to a server, there is a certain rules guiding how requests coming from a client should get to the server. You understand? There are quite a number of them. It's not just we don't just have only HTTP. We have FTP, we have SSH, we have SMS, MMS. Those ones we have different channel of protocol that guides a request to a server. Do you understand? The server is also programmed in such a way that it can handle this request. So what these protocols means is that it just tells the server the format or the pattern to attend to different requests as they come. You understand? You don't just send information and then boom, it just return. No, there are set of rules to standardize how information go across the internet. So that is why these rules were created. And the major ones that you encounter when you use the browser or most of your mobile application are HTTP and HTTPS. You understand? Then we have the URL. This URL is what actually is more like the address you use to locate an information that is living on a server. Now let's see what the definition is. It's a uniform resource locator. It's a standard format used to specify the address of a resource on the internet. It serves as a unique identifier that allows users to locate and access web pages, files, and other online resources. A URL consists of several components. Yes, there we go. We have the protocol, which I've mentioned, the HTTP and HTTPS. We have the domain name, we have the path, and then we have the parameter. Now, the protocol I've explained, is the rules guiding how a request is sent, and this helps the server to know how to process this request. Then the domain name, this represent the website address. You understand? This can be just like I showed you guys earlier before now, the Fasticor website. We have Fasticor technology. Let's use example.com or google.com. It typically indicates the specific web address or server where this is hosted. Now, when Google has a server and whatever address that is registered, whatever domain that is registered on their server, you can only access those domains through their server. And once a domain is registered on a server, you can't register it in any other server. It lives in that server until it expires before another server can pick it up or it is being transferred to another server. But so long as, let's say, google.com lives on Google server, it's Google that owns it. And whenever you are making a request to google.com, you are actually going straight to Google server to make a request. So you don't really need to know. It is the address itself. It is the server, sorry, that knows its children. He knows which request belongs to them. So whenever this request is made through the internet, they just have their means of finding their way to the server where they belong to just pull information. You understand? You don't really need to understand the technicality of how that works unless you want to go and study network engineering. So we have the path. This path are, when you come to some certain websites, you have maybe users/users. That is where you see the list of users or slash uh, these are pages. You understand? There's some website that have blogs. So you have fastico.com/blog. So this path is just the link to a file that lives within that domain. Do you understand? So there's a file where that thing you are looking for is. So when you make a request to that path where that file is, it pulls it out for you. Just like in your Explorer, whether Mac or Windows you're using or even Linux. When you go to your Windows Explorer, your Explorer window, you go to your files, your documents. You understand? Sometimes you can go to the URL bar or search bar and type in the path of what you're looking for, and it takes you straight there because it is within your operating system. So it knows that thing you're looking for so long as you put the right path. So every resources online most times are files. The programs we use online, the software tools we use are files. So when you make requests to a server that lives on the internet, you're actually making a request to a file. So it's going to check within its archive if that file exists and then pull it out for you. Just that there are different mechanisms to which that determines how these files are provided for you. Do you understand? So parameters are checks or kind of small tips we give to the server to actually specify particular thing. We are just to be more specific in what we are looking for, asking for. Let's say we want the server to provide us with a file that has the list of all users, but yet we want to make it more generic. We want to get all the users whose profession are footballers. So you have to now, that is when you now have parameters. You indicate the parameters. The server now say, oh, okay, we are going to go to the files for footballers. You're going to go to the files for users, but we need to streamline the information we're going to return from this file to just contain only the names of the users who are footballers. Do you understand? Now let's go and explain the URL link so you understand how it works. We have here's an example. We have example.com. The product here is the path. That means the folder that contains a file for products. And then this is the actual file we are looking for. And the file is what? The index.html is the file that is on the server we are looking for. But then we are looking for a particular file inside this HTML whose ID is 12, is 123, sorry, and the category is book. So what it's going to do is going to use this parameter to actually filter all files that are in this, so all the content that is inside this file to get us the particular information that has this ID and then this category. So this, from where this question mark starts, these are what we call URL parameters. You understand? So we are here again. I think that is all for how the web works. So in summary, I just want you to understand that first there's a client, and then there's a server, and there are server resources, materials, and these are files that are uploaded on the server. Someone might say, who uploads this content or files to the server? The server administrator. That's why we have server administrator, we have cloud engineers. These are the work of someone. When a web developer finishes his development and is done with the software he's building or the website he's building, he needs to live on the server. And there's a network administrator or a server administrator or a DevOps engineer that will pick up this piece of software. And this piece of software is mostly files, different files bundled together. He will now carry it and upload it on the server so that when you now come to make request or to use this software, you now make requests based on different requests you're making, and based on how the software works, it will just be picking the files in its domain, in its folder, and be releasing the information you need one after the other, depending on how the software is programmed. Do you understand? So this is really how it works. So first there is a client that makes the request, and how does it make request? Through the URL. The URL is the locator, the web address that locates where that item you're looking for is on the server. And the server sees this URL. It knows exactly what you're looking for. It goes through its archive where all its files are uploaded, and then pick out what you're looking for and then gives to you. Do you understand? Thank you very much, guys. And then that will be all for the recap. I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.